si no puedo, I pray. A veces llego tarde y se lo doy anyway.
Estado de Saturno después de Night Sun.
Sábado en la noche.
El sol estado de Saturno después de Night Sun.
Sábado en la noche.
Every day, every day. Every day, every day.
Gotta go get it every day. Hey, every day we gotta go get this Galactic money where we cover macroeconomics, cryptonomics, tokenomics, and a little bit of science, since all of the institutions that we send our youth to and bankroll the youth to send them to this type of education system, they don't teach anything like this over there, you know. So this is why we gotta cover it in Galactic money. So you know already that I obsess about the magnetic field of the earth, because it's the weakest that it has been probably over the past 10,000 years or so. Okay, and whatever induction from mainly from the sun, right? If the earth happens to be traveling and passing by one of these flares at that time, you know, it can increase the magnetic pressure and everything that comes with that, right? So they measure it in the KP index. So you see, this is where we are in this gray area. If we go yellow, it's okay, we survive. If it's orange, it's dangerous. Obviously red is bad and purple is really bad, right? In terms of like magnetic storm reaching us within this current magnetic state that we are experiencing today. So we'll be covering that a little bit more in depth later on, but this is the real climate change. You know, they keep blaming us, and we bankroll the youth to send them to school to teach them anthropogenic global warming. That is totally ridiculous. So we got to cover a little bit of the economics as well, since obviously everybody knows that they don't teach that in school. Looking at the dollar strength, not the price, the dollar strength, which has been ranging, right, over the past couple months between about 92 to 94. We expect the dollar to get stronger as the rest of the currencies start going Venezuela style, Zimbabwe style, now Turkey style as well. Looking at the S&P after the telenovela, after the soap opera we call the election, holding pretty good. The market's feeling a little bit more confident in the sense of who's going to be leading or so, you know. Although this is crazy, you know, I call this telenovela, I called it these 79 days of terror, right? Big shout out to Alex Jones for explaining, you know, how the 79 days is the legal frame that they have to make an actual decision here. So they're gonna in my opinion, they're gonna stretch it all the way out. People think like, you know, it's funny that now the media is telling you that the blue team has won. I don't know, this, which is pulling data from somewhere, you know, and this is TradingViews, right? So these people are the best at pulling data. The red team has been creeping up again, although they have declared this guy the actual winner. But we'll see. This is what I've been talking about throughout this election. Like, it doesn't matter. If you still believe in the transfer of power from the blue to the red, you have no clue. You are a child still, you know, that hasn't opened his eyes yet, like a newborn, basically, if you believe that. for a second. It doesn't matter. You don't see what's happening out there, which we are in Miami live now, in the middle of this storm that was coming from the Cuba area, and it was going west and until it entered the Gulf, and then it started turning back east. So that's, again, like, why did it turn to the west and to the east? Because of the temperature of the ocean. It's warmer down south and obviously west, towards the Gulf. Why is it turning? Obviously, if they cover a little bit of the fundamental science that we cover here, nobody will be talking that stuff. If your weatherman still talking about a storm getting stronger because of the temperature of the ocean, just turned off that weather channel. The fact is that all this is possible because obviously the stream of media where we get the information from is all from this, mainly from the same source. However, everything is open and free online, so this is not very hard to find. Regardless of who wins the telenovela, the happy ending, the blue or red team, the goal is to pass on this agenda, make us fight, right? And then obviously send the military because we need order. The chaos that they have created, now they need order for. The chaos from the whole coronavirus, the whole this is a global stuff. Like, nobody's immune to this anymore, and this is like plain in plain sight now. And the fact that also they have told us that they were going to do so. Everything that's happening, they have told us from in advance. But we cover the world markets, all the market stock markets, right? After the election, obviously all-time high, even though we're supposed to be at the lowest in production and consumption we ever have been. The markets are going. I wonder which side of the market is going up. I mean, if you cannot read between the line, it's no wonder why we have this massive takeover possible, because of the media that comes to us, which we forge our opinions and ideas from, right? Like, don't only watch what they telling you, also watch what they are censoring from you. Like, that's the more, as soon as they censor something, you gotta know why. Anyway, let's move into what pertains the crypto markets. We've been saying, right, like, we're gonna hit 16 and then we were gonna range for a while. Like, my cousin tells me, like, hey, are you guessing this stuff right? So we've been guessing right for the past since the beginning of this show, the 20 or so episode. We've been guessing everything pretty good, saying that we're gonna range here, probably now, continuation pretty soon, but we have to keep the suspense with the telenovela going. If not, this would have been already at 20,000 most likely. One thing I did miss is the Bitcoin dominance. I didn't expect it to get as high as like 70%. I thought that would be too high in this current conditions of the market, because the market is getting bigger and Bitcoin capacity to take over the whole market is harder and harder, right? As the total market cap grows. But this is still pretty good. 65% is tremendous. 64.3, whatever, is tremendous. So all season, which I called it at 450 billion, has somewhat started. We'll see if now the total combined market keeps going up or just BTC. I think that, first of all, Ethereum needs to get to 500. Ethereum has been just following, but Ethereum has to get to 500 now for the all season to take off. But we are at the level, maintaining the levels. We got to maintain this 450 and above. Reality, 500 billion, total market cap, which I'm the only one in the world calling the total market cap levels. I'm sure I'm not, but I'm one of the only guys that I watch that pay so much attention to the total market cap, knowing that this is a lot of wash trading still, less and less every day. But the fact that we had this like $100 billion level that we never, once we hit it, we never went back there. The next level like that is 500 billion, in my humble opinion. I've been saying that for a while, but F needs to go to 500, and the hash rate, there's a big dispute, like what leads what, hash rate on POW type of chains or price. Normally they go hand in hand, but they are all-time high in hash rate, so a lot of miners wants to contribute to the network, and the price is still about less than 50% from all-time high, right? Ethereum needs to go to 500 so it can continue a nice level. It's funny how people don't want to buy Ethereum at 300 or 370, but they want to buy it at 500. Above 500 they will. DeFi, this stuff is not going anywhere. Decentralized financing yields, your money paying rent kind of stuff. Be your own bank kind of stuff. Try to be a bank. It's tough, it's tricky, but people can do it. And in the crypto market, the pay-ups are tremendous. Yes, there's a lot of dangers, but you can mitigate some risk and still be somewhat of a bank, like lock your money and it pays you interest and stuff. DeFi needs to reach the real world, right? That's why I'm bullish about projects such as Secret Network. It's not in the time for the speculator today, but it's been featured in there because I believe that projects like Secret can let's look it up here. Projects like Secret can definitely bring this closer to reality. So these people right here, why? Because in order to bring it to mass adoption, you need privacy capability before we can go there. We need privacy for just so can financial institutions do their thing without putting everything basically out in the clear, but we'll see how it comes. One thing for sure, this total value lock is not coming down either. This is kind of like helping the total market cap as well. Because of DeFi, there's money that's never gonna leave the crypto space, right? Like it just wants to go to work. Yeah, unlike all of the government agency that they don't want to go to work for sure, they want to lock everything up, because they've been getting paid better than ever now that they are in quarantine. As they are in quarantine, all of these government officials, they banking, and I'm talking about globally, or the officials that took the deal from the IMF. If you go over the countries that took the deal from the IMF, all of those people want to shut down their countries, including us here as well. We'll see how this plays, but the red team coronavirus task force was terrible. So I can only imagine how the blue team has, because it cannot be better. You have to make it worse, of course. We are at the ridiculous stages. I always say $1 trillion is a ridiculous amount of money. To be printing this amount of money, you can buy any government. You can buy any government like this. If you doubt anything I say, just go and do your own research. But you can buy a whole government system just like this. These people can print $1 trillion in a heartbeat, and that's what they're doing with the IMF, right? And countries, especially smaller countries, I call the government officials in the Dominican Republic cheap ass whores, sold like one of the pearls of the Caribbeans for nothing. Okay, all those guys driving new vehicles, getting paid the best as they shut down a country that nobody gets sick in Dominican Republic, period. When you there and you happy getting sun, there's no infection that survives that. But yeah, people are fighting all over the world because this ridiculousness is getting worse and worse. This is in Germany, right? Put the volume down. This is in Germany, fighting against it. In the UK, which is like the leader of everything, obviously we have the Queen there directing everything, right? And her son too. Like, what the hell? Like, why these people still exist? But for sure, they want to make this vaccine mandatory now. Okay, so it's like, okay, coronavirus, okay, I believe you, but let me die in peace. Like, I don't need to take your vaccine. I'll die before. Look, these people never isolated no virus, right? So what they doing is just crime after crime after the criminology can stop, right? They now this vaccine, they not going after any virus. Like, if you still don't know that, like, I'm not sure how to explain it to you. They don't test you with a PCR test for the presence of a virus whatsoever at all. So how you think they're gonna inject you for a virus? Yeah. Regardless, we learn here that viruses don't get anyone sick. Okay, you are half virus, half bacteria. That's what you are, and you make them the same way you make your smells, your colors, you make your viruses and bacterias. You can swap, but you cannot get anybody sick. Look, for a fact, it's like, if we giving away all of our freedom so easy, just complying, they're not gonna give it back. Okay, Good thing though is that, you know, we don't have to ask for a bank account anymore. Like, they can keep their bank account, you know. We have other system, so we need to create just more of this system. This corporate FOMO is real, and aside from this amount growing every day, you have to understand that they not only buying crypto, they also acquiring crypto companies. The same people that used to be so against it before, you know. Yeah, and we'll see, you know, after the telenovela, the 79 Days of Terrors, we'll see how it happens. But one thing for sure, when it comes to the industrial side of blockchain, the US is falling way behind in a lot of areas, like in New York. If you live in New York, my condolences to you. Yes, you know, that bit license is just a big impediment. It's just a bit impediment. But more and more people want to leave the US when it comes to creating. I remember when a lot of the Ethereum guys will never do anything in the US, and I used to ask them in the early days, like 2016, and it was like, no, because the US sucks. And I'm like, you know, so yeah, now we see why. We know that they come in with central bank digital currency, you know, and they're gonna try to block, and they doing those travel laws for the exchanges. Obviously, they have to do the doors wherever they can, right? So the exchanges is the gateway between the crypto space and the actual legacy system, or your banking system, or real money, or however you want to call it. So they are putting a lot of restrictions on the exchanges now. We need to learn and use DEXs every day, you know, decentralized exchanges more and more, because they're gonna use this, even this great like breakthrough in computer science, you know, like blockchains or whatever you want to call it. They're gonna use it as a weapon against us. Okay, so we need to just do better. Let's take a little break.
Follow me. Oh, yeah, take all my money, put them for your head, you. For your head, you. Oh, mama, mo. Oh, yeah, take all my money, put them for your waist, you. For your waist, you. Oh, why? I won't calling you. All I'm in is baby girl, follow.
Okay, so let's jump right into a little bit of science. We know that we are the lowest solar cycle of at least the past 200 years. This last one, number 24. We know that the magnetosphere is probably the weakest it's been in a very, very long time. So we are most susceptible to cosmic influences, you know, charge. The whole universe is just full of charge, and it's coming through this medium we call waters, basically, and it's affecting the waters. We enter the age of Aquarius in 2012, right? So the waters around the planets have changed tremendously. The deserts starting to bloom in many parts of Africa, and parts of Europe that used to be really wet are drying up, and Brazil, like places in Brazil getting, you know, like 6 years worth of rain in one day kind of stuff, you know, and during the dry season in some areas, during the dry season in those areas. So yeah, while these people still talking about carbon, okay, we got to get real, okay? These people don't have the best interest in mind for population. I don't know what it is. They want to keep it to themselves. A lot of people gonna suffer the changes. We are barely at the beginning, but I don't know why they adding more to the mix. I think it's, in my opinion, it's totally unnecessary. I was the first one to isolate the coronavirus, since no one in the world did it, right? Where I display is just the balance sheets of all the central banks around the world, basically, all the major balance sheet, all the debt. That's your coronavirus right there, delivered to us by the great people of the UN. Look, I obsess about the magnetosphere, and you know, and show like how even an individual cosmic ray can either change into a carbon or into a beryllium 10 and decide basically the fate of the temperature of the planet, right? The charge, okay? So not only that, we there's a lot of other factors that this individual charges that are coming from all over the galaxy, mainly from the sun, and a lot of it we get protected by this magnetosphere, right? But the ones that penetrate the heliosphere that are very well charged, and then they affect us even more. And then a lot of the ones that coming from the sun affect us in many different ways. I want to play this. You see, we are at the lower solar cycle and at the maximum cosmic ray exposure, okay? So they go hand in hand. When you have low protection, more gets in. And it's not just weather. So I want to listen to about 30 seconds from Ben.
Least accounted for space energy and climate and human health. In our textbook are dozens of the best articles on how they work the clouds, trigger lightning, change pressure cells, alter viscosity of silica-rich magma, break DNA, affect hippocampal processes, degrade the locus coeruleus ability to manage panic and fear. It changes blood pressure, heart rate, stroke and cardiac arrest risks. Today, after we've been saying so for about 2 years, it is officially
after
in the AGU.
2 years.
We are at the modern cosmic ray maximum.
So now just the scientists are either catching up or barely starting to publish and confirm all of this stuff that are observable and within our reach, and we should be able to be basically protecting our population a bit better and preparing our population a bit better, right? Instead, we doing just coronavirus and global warming stuff. So we got to take a break.
Se acabó la cuarentena, el cuerpo lo sabe y la calle está llena. Se acabó la cuarentena, el cuerpo lo pide, mi cuerpo pide calla.
Meanwhile, in China, in Wuhan, yeah, I'm sure it's the dirty human. Yeah, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure you can trust these people, this government people, this IMF people. You know, we pay these people and give them our power. We give them our power so they can use it against us. So we got to strike back and hit it with that time. It's time for the speculator. 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 Hey, China, China, China. China, China, China. Speculate the price. Speculate the price. Speculate the price. Speculate the price. I got the shoe stone tonight. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the pumpiest on the mall? Okay. It's a dielectric, okay? The magic mirror. What is it? We're gonna go right into bridge from China. Maybe not from China. Like a lot of Bitcoin OGs are working on this project, so I like it because of the experience. So yes, it has taken a big dive since it pumped to about like close to 1.7. You know, it's like at 0.02. So yes, a few X's to be done on a project that is doing oracles. Oracles are now a popular thing. You know, there's all kinds of oracles, different just small differentiations between them. It seems like these people going for, obviously they building on top of Tron because they believe that they can build cheaper and faster and still safe, right? But they should be able to serve many protocols. So we'll see. I think it's a great bet. You want to put stop losses to this? You could put a mental stop losses to this somewhere around 20%, I guess, something like that, because it's very hard. You buying this below a million, like, yeah, you got to ask yourself, why did it dump so much? But it seems like they are still working. I know that Justin from Tron, right? He just announced that they're building another Oracle. They just copy and link for now, and we'll see how it goes. But it will be competition for this, obviously. But yes, this could still pump. They have a lot of followers. We got to check the validity of that. But yeah, I'm looking for a few X's here, at least 3 X's before you get before that will get out. This is always above 450 billion total market cap. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is brujeria. Do your own research. And yeah, also Moonswap. They have dumped heavily, 34 cents, coming from like about $5. Let me see here. Well, coming from about $10. Yeah, but probably actual, like, for a few days, about $5 or so. Now they keep building though. They deliver the seems like their community is pretty active. They launched the app on the Android store, and also the swap app here for, you know, it's obviously this is not very hard to do in today's date, you know, just copying Uniswap type deal, but these people are aiming to deliver this protocol feedless and high speed. So that is very, very bullish. Just on that pumpamento kind of stuff, you know, they start getting out. Yeah, they want to get into NFTs as well. They are getting into that. Yes, this has the potential to go a few X's in this bull market. Hey, as always, enjoy yourself. Hope you got something out of the video.